Some would say I have game. I think I have at least some game.
Damn, that's my man right there. I'm so sorry. I feel bad for Colt. Like, that's embarrassing. Like, he's getting laughed at in his face.
What's good, homies? Welcome back to Grimm. Today we're going to be reacting to a new 90 Day Fiancé show called Hunt for Love, where Colt is out here floundering. I mean, literally floundering. His entire cast is making fun of him throughout this entire trip, where a bunch of people are put in paradise trying to find love, and he's the only, well, I would say, not conventionally attractive person here. Of course, everybody has their own types, but I mean, just look at this dancing. So yeah, needless to say, we're going to watch him struggle today, and the cringe is real, so if you can watch to the very end of this one, I applaud you. It's going to be a challenge. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps out the channel. Let's see if we can hit 3,000 likes. And without any further ado, let's get right on into this, shall we? So as I just said, this show is basically set in paradise. I don't even remember specifically where it's at, but it's some beautiful white sand, blue water beaches. And we have a ton of alumni from 90 Day Fiancé, including Usman, which is crazy, who has some incredible insights right off rip.
I mean, I'm African, you know, like we have it here. We like it's big.
All right, dude, he's just talking about his hammer. All right. So as you can see, that's the competition Colt has here. And they do kind of a dorky thing for the first night of the show where everybody shows up in masquerade masks being like, ooh, who's here from 90 Day? Because they also brought just a ton of other eligible singles that I'm sure tried to be on some sort of TV show, and TLC was like, no, we're going to put you in this weird lab experiment where you're with these 90 Day Fiancé alumni freaks, and they're going to try to fall in love with you, okay? So yeah, everybody's dancing, having a good time, and then the masks come off, and you can instantly see in Colt's face, just in the quick moment they show him, that he realizes he's very well above his head right now. All right, he's in the deep end of the pool, and I don't know if he's going to be able to swim, so to say. But wouldn't you know it, after this party, the first night, how does it end? Well, Colt gets taken back to somebody's hotel room with 3 other ladies. And whoa, I know what you're thinking. No, Colt is not about to star in his own video on the Orange and Black YouTube, like you wish, or like he wishes, I guess I should say. Nobody really wants to see that. But I think they took him here because he was such a non-option to them, you know? He's just such a non-participant in this dating show in their eyes that they brought him over to this hotel room because then they can kind of gossip and share tea. You know, he's kind of giving off the gay best friend vibe, where he's just a safe space for them to just talk about these other guys that they are actually interested in dating. And what's hilarious is 2 seconds in, Usman and this guy Tim, who really looks like Roger from American Dad, like that's literally what the fan base refers to him as. He's kind of built like him too. They crash the party, and to show just how safe Colt is to these women, one of them actually ushers him over to sit by her because she doesn't want to sit next to these other 2 bozos that just waltzed in.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm like a little angel baby, but like I've got my plans, right?
And this girl's like acting like they're playing Survivor or Big Brother or something, and this is a social game. No, you're on here to fall in love and date and have cringy storylines. That's it. But she's like, yeah, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this season and I'm gonna figure out just what everyone's intentions truly are. Like, okay, sis. Anyways, this rendezvous gets really awkward as Usman kind of, he hijacks the conversation to bitch about the fact that another cast member called him a scammer, and he hates being referred to as scammers. He says, you know, people like me and where I'm from, you always assume that we're scammers, to which Colt has, he's got something to say about that. It's a little spicy.
They say all cats are gray in the dark, but at the end of the day, Usman has a track record, and it's old white ladies that give him PlayStations.
He's like, I'm not gonna call him a scammer, but dude, you're not that bad looking. You're pretty young, all things considered, and you tend to go for older ladies, which we got to remind ourselves of what older lady he was with. He was with Angela, the absolute scariest, most sour-faced person you've ever seen. Like, when you think of a horrendous old lady, that's her right there, through and through. So yeah, you're trying to convince us you're not a scammer and you're actually doing this for love. I don't believe it. But yeah, the fact that he's like, you're kind of just finessing these old ladies for the newest PlayStation. Every time one comes out, you seem to find a new love romance of somebody who's in their 70s and absolutely decrepit. But yeah, needless to say, night 1, Colt's not getting any action. Now, the first morning of them here at this resort, because of course they're not really here just to mingle, they're actually getting coached by dating coaches that truly sound like they don't know what they're doing, and they have them enact these scenarios, to which Usman goes first, and there seems to be a bit of a rivalry going between these two, because Colt's instantly talking shit about some song that he's sang for this fake romance relationship scenario.
This song sucks. I don't think anyone would be impressed by his lyrics, I would tell you.
Why don't you show us a song then, Colty? Huh? Why don't you get a little musical, buddy? If you're so good at this, you're like the needle drop right now, just giving us music critiques. Why don't you throw something in the mix? In fact, he does, as next up, he gets chosen to flirt with this other star on the show, and let's see how things go. I really don't have high hopes for Colty here.
I mean, some would say I have game. I think I have at least some game, maybe half of a game.
Dude, we're getting into some small fractions. I'd say if you had a piece of game, it's like 1/256th of game. You know what I mean? Like, but you know what? I love that Colt has confidence in himself. That's what it takes to be successful in the dating world. Sometimes you just got to bullshit your way through, you know, finding love.
Oh, yeah, very interesting piercings and all that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah? Why do you think they're interesting?
I guess I'm just not really familiar with that.
And I gotta say, first things first, this girl's giving him weird energy off rip. I feel like this is gonna be a case where she's gonna treat him differently because he's Colt, okay? Like, he's just trying to talk about the piercings. She's like, why do you find them so interesting? You never seen somebody pierced in the face before? Are you gonna assault me? Like, whoa, okay, chill. Like, he's trying to do what the dating coach said. She paired you two up. Why don't you go with the scenario?
So you into that type of stuff? I see your tattoo as well.
Into what type of stuff?
Like piercings and stuff.
And she's so weirdly defensive. Like, he's clearly just talking about body modification. Like, she's instantly on the defense with this guy, and I feel so bad for him already.
You know, like a nose or like a nipple or something. Is your body like your canvas pretty much?
Draw that back.
Yeah?
Yeah, T on that, bro.
And whoa, instantly Colt gets cut off, made to look and feel like a creep in front of everybody. Now, the whole, you know, piercing comment, that was a little weird, but referring to your body as a canvas is like something that a lot of people who get tattoos, you know, talk about. They talk in that style, and she's acting like he's being super creepy. She shuts him down like, don't be talking about my body right now. Like, let's walk that back. That's a little bit creepy, Colt. This is a first date. Like, okay, he's trying to flirt. Maybe he's not super good at it, but I feel like all of these reactions are not warranted and would not be similar if any of these other guys were up there right now that weren't, you know, kind of chubby and awkward. Also, this whole time I thought he was wearing one of those high-vis construction shirts, but it's just a really weird design.
Don't ever say that to nobody.
Okay.
Don't talk about my body. That's a lot.
And see how awkward she's making this already? Like, he's feeling this verbal assault coming on, and he's just like shutting down. He's like, okay, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Coach, can you step in? Can you let me know where I went wrong, please? And everyone's just looking around like, Jesus, this guy is never gonna find love. Like, they're all just looking at him with such disgust and pity, and they just met him.
I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to laugh you out.
Except you literally are laughing him out, and it encourages the rest of the cast who's sitting right next to him to all laugh at Colt right here. This is the stuff of nightmares for awkward chubby guys. Let me tell you that, all right? Like, holy shit, is this just off to a terrible start for Colt here. I'm feeling terrible, dude.
I feel bad for Colt. Like, that's embarrassing. Like, he's getting laughed at in his face. I think my roleplay was a lot worse, so
And even this other girl on the show admits that her scenario that she went through that I skipped over because it was boring was not good either, but nobody seemed to laugh in her face. So yeah, talk about double standards. I mean, yes, Colt is awkward, but damn do I feel bad for him right now.
I got a little nervous. I'm in front of a pretty girl, you know, obviously.
You got it, though.
You got it too.
I believe in you.
I believe in you.
But honestly, the rest of the conversation after that does not sound that bad. He's pretty smooth, and there's a piece of Cole that, you know, I'm starting to believe that, you know, he does have a little bit of game, all right? He's not as awkward as you think once you do get settled into the conversation. I think where he struggles is, you know, beginning that conversation and finding out the pacing of everything. So in the end, they seem to be on good terms, but still, I'm thinking everybody in this group is not looking at this guy like he's an option. I'm wondering what the hell they're gonna do for a whole season if everybody's just avoiding him like the plague when it comes to his flirting. This is about to be the saddest season of television I've ever seen.
Is there someone you would have rather
Oh, yeah.
that you're moving with?
I actually kind of like Courtney.
And oh, he's feeling himself a Courtney. Holy cow. You know, I mean, me personally, my wife's name's Courtney. I get it. They're a rare breed, but yeah, she's the one who was just kind of pitying him. So it's funny to see that he's wanting to go for this girl who's not feeling attraction necessarily, but more just utter pity. And he goes back to his hotel room where he's reading some sort of old school pickup artist guide. I don't know. I feel like this whole grift has been around for centuries of trying to teach awkward men how to talk to women. But I love that he's like, this is like the current, you know, literature on relationships. When was this published? Let me see.
My book on etiquette. It's called Etiquette of Today. Looks like it was published in 1806 and 1896, something.
So he's reading a A 200-year-old book on how to talk to women, bro. He is so lost in the sauce. He's just never gonna get it, I'm afraid. But you know what? He's so adorable while he's trying. I'm like honestly secretly rooting for him now. So after reading that book for a while, he gets pulled aside by the lead dating coach on this season because she's a little bit worried for him. Let's hear why.
I know that for Colt, it might be a little bit intimidating to be around some of these men and women who are more stereotypically attractive.
I just got nervous for Colt because he's just so fugly compared to everybody else, you know, like they all got kind of like abs and muscles and good faces, good symmetry. Well, except for Tim, but you know, Colt, he's just so ugly compared to the rest of the cast and hard to look at. I know he understands that like the rest of us do, and it's gonna be hard for him to find love this season. Like God, even the dating coach doesn't sound confident in this moron. That's sad.
How do you feel when you look at that guy?
Well, he was going through a divorce or marriage or some point in his life that he didn't want to be a part of.
Okay, why did Colt bring a pillow of himself on this trip? Also, look at this photo. You know he got this printed thinking, yeah, that's the best picture of me I've ever taken. Absolute Riz, which I did like long hair Colty. Sue me, okay? It was a cool look. I actually did not entirely hate it, nor do I hate his look now. I'm joking that he's so much uglier than these other contestants, but really a lot of that is in his confidence. Yes, he's overweight compared to them, but in the face, he's not that bad, and he's not as much of a psycho as some of these other people are personality-wise. So if people understood that and actually gave him a chance, I think there'd be a possibility of him finding love this season. Maybe. But yeah, he basically explains that he was at the lowest of lows when he took this photo, so the dating coach is just like, yeah, well, you know, internalize that and look at where you are now. You've cut your hair a little bit. She's trying to sound confident and inspire him, but it's really not doing that good of a job. But ultimately in this conversation, she inspires him to make a move tonight because they're going to be clubbing it up as a cast, and she wants him to ask out somebody who he had a little bit of an interest in. Now, she's not a 90-day alumni, at least I don't think so. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but she is just one of the eligible singles that was brought on and in the mix of this show so that they're not only trying to date their co-stars. And we'll meet her later, don't worry.
I may not have the traditional chiseled look or the 6-packs or 8-packs or whatever, but I have my own set of skills. And
now he just sounded like Liam Neeson in Taken. But again, you know what, buddy? If you're feeling confident, I want you to keep that feeling rolling on into the night. Let's see what this newfound confidence does to Colt and his behavior at this little powwow tonight. Okay, Colt, you gotta reel it in, buddy. So he instantly hits the dance floor by himself. I don't know what the thinking is here. Maybe he expects that the women will see that and think, wow, that's somebody who's very confident, which, you know, good on him for not being too afraid of the onlookers and people giggling under their breaths while looking at him attempt to dance and get all sweaty. But the reaction of everybody is pretty much the same. It's just pity and laughter once again.
I feel like the dance, it's like the birds, right? Where they do like the crazy, and they're like,
Like this co-star likens him to a bird that's trying to do a mating ritual and just failing, which is pretty much what's going on here. She kind of hit the nail on the head there.
I think Cole got the wrong memo. Like, he wore a sweater to a Mexican disco. He's sweating profusely.
And even Roger the alien over here is like, dude, why is he wearing a black sweater in this hot sun? You know, wherever they are, it's still hot at night. And he's dancing his ass off, sweating profusely. I mean, these upcoming shots, you're gonna see the hair literally globbing up and glistening on his scalp.
you gotta tone it down. It's not attracting the girls.
Oh, okay.
Look.
So thankfully somebody once again makes a pity move on him and comes up and is like, look, Colt, this is how you dance actually. And actually does show him how to dance, shows him a good time. I'm just a little worried Colt's gonna get a little too excited. You see his face here. She's gonna walk away and he might remain bricked up for the entire night, which will not help his image whatsoever. So after that little dance lesson, he's finally feeling that he has the balls to go ask May out, who is this 35-year-old that is on the show that he instantly had an attraction to. So let's see how this pans out. I'm really hoping that he can walk away with one date this season. Will this be the one?
How you doing, May? Wait, I didn't see you yesterday.
Yeah, I was at the
other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy, she's not interested. I mean, first sentence, she's already looking like she needs to go to bed. She's so bored and just uninterested speaking to this guy and trying her very best to give him no indication that she's interested, but he's still like, yeah, I think it could work.
Are you interested in anyone so far?
You have any dates planned, I guess, what I'm asking.
No, nothing. I mean,
And oh, she opened up the door for him to, you know, at least try to shoot his shot. And even that, he is so damn awkward. There's just no helping this guy. I mean, I truly believe that.
Would you be interested in going on a date with me?
Oh, and she hit him with the pause and they go to commercial break. That's never a good sign, dude. Oh, you are so cooked, bro. Okay, so I'm gonna sit through this commercial break. Let's see how things go when we're back.
I think that we vibe.
Yeah.
But dating, not sure about.
Okay.
I'm just.
Ooh, and she friend zones him right away. They vibe good, whatever that means. It's basically equates to I don't throw up when I look at you fully, like I keep it in my mouth, but I don't think I ever want to even entertain the idea of going on a date with you. I will say though, Colt takes this very well. Like in terms of being face to face, he doesn't pull r/nice guys and start flipping out on her, getting all angry, and he doesn't cry at all, which was the other option. So good on him for that, for maintaining his composure.
I usually date men that are very goal-oriented, also healthy, fit.
And she starts naming off all these qualities that Colt is not, saying, yeah, I love fit guys, guys that have goals and achieve them, guys with money, good looks, funny personality. Colt just kind of, he doesn't cross any boxes for me, which thankfully she's saying this in private in a confessional. If she said this shit to his face, I think it would absolutely destroy his entire soul and he would never try to date again. The season will be over for this guy. Day 2.
She didn't even think about it. I didn't even finish to say, will you go out? She like stopped.
But he knows, he saw right through it. He's like, dude, I didn't even finish the damn sentence, bro. And she already was denying me. That's how much she was not interested. She didn't even want to, fool herself with the idea that a single date with me could be a possibility. I really feel for Colt right now. This whole season so far, oh, he's just been taking L's on L's. Somebody hand this guy a W for once. But you know what? He doesn't let this stop him. He goes and dances over next to Courtney. He's on one tonight. He says, if I can't get May, I'm gonna shoot my shot with someone else. You go, Colt.
Well, you're doing really good.
I showed up. That was enough.
Hey,
That's enough.
that's half the battle.
And he's over here like wiping sweat from his forehead, which I feel I sweat profusely doing the absolute minimum. But he's trying to rizz her up, like at least go towel off your head before you do this, bro.
I saw Colt get rejected by May, and I feel kind of bad for him because he's sweet, he's funny, he's kind of cute.
And in the end of this episode, though, Courtney in her confessional admits she finds Colt a little bit cute, actually. He's funny, he's sweet. There might be a chance of this guy scoring a date, which we'll have to see in the next episode. That's as much Colt cringe as I can handle in one episode. I'm low-key excited to see him back in the limelight on a 90 Day Fiancé show. I will most likely be not covering any other aspect of this show because the rest of it is the side of 90 Day that I don't care about, of people just being mad horny on Maine and like being dramatic. I'm here for the cringe lolcow type people, okay? But let me know what you thought down in the comments below if you want to see more. Again, if we can hit 3,000 likes, that'd be insane. Thank you so much for watching to the very end. And until next time, peace out.